So how was it actually that you Earthlings fixed this climate crisis that was so super important for you to overcome? Yes, I will be happy to give you some perspectives. When we started to get really going, it was actually pretty simple. We realized we had these 5 sectors, if you will, that we had to fix. So it was electricity production, it was transportation. Number 3 was industry, and number 4 was buildings, and finally number 5 was our agriculture and forestry. Okay, so fixing these 5 made it for us, and the beauty of it was that fixing the first one of them, the electricity production, sort of paved the way for the 3 next. So we got our electricity to 100% renewable, but we wanted to do an electrification of number 2, 3, and 4, so we needed basically the double amount of electricity to push out the black energy from each of these sectors. There were some problems in the beginning, and people would tell you that it is not possible and so on, but luckily there were some front runners showing that it is actually not that big a problem. You just need enough solar and enough wind, and then batteries at scale. And then the battery prices went down and kept going down. Suddenly we could add that battery capacity that is needed. So that proved to be not that big a problem in the bigger scale of things. So then we had those 200%, and we could electrify our transportation, all the land transportation. We just parked the air and sea transportation, and I will get back to those. Simultaneously, we electrified our industry. They had been gradually transitioning already, so they were pretty quick to adopt, transitioning the rest, getting to 100% renewables via the electricity. And then for the buildings, it was taking all the heating and electrifying, especially with installing heat pumps. So, yes, with all the cheap green electricity, it was simply pretty much just a go-do. And then the cooling, the air conditioning was actually even more easy, because all the air conditioning was basically already electric. And then, of course, you have new buildings, you have concrete, you have steel. Yeah, for the concrete, you had the production plant itself now running on green electricity, but then you also have the chemical reaction when producing cement. And for the steel, yeah, in the beginning we thought that the steel production was not possible to electrify, and they were talking about hydrogen and other ways, but in the end, they realized it was actually easier just to electrify the whole thing. So that was how that pretty much ended. You had the raw materials for the new buildings, and of course the machines used in erecting the buildings had also already been electrified. So that was then number 1, the electricity, number 2, transportation, number 3, the industry, and number 4, the buildings. And then let me get back to number 2, the transportation. There we had 2 outstanding points, the marine transportation and the air transportation. So how did we fix that? Well, that was some really intense emissions, and especially the sea transportation was really polluting. But we managed to fix both of them, almost entirely. And again, the same as with steel, they said it was impossible to electrify. But we ended up pretty soon electrifying all short distance flights were electrified. For the long distance, we converted a large part to optimize biofuels, fermented from plant material. Yeah, and let me get back on the agricultural side of that. Agriculture and forestry also underwent a revolution as we adapted our practices to embrace sustainability, ensuring a greener future. We shifted our focus towards regenerative practices, ensuring that our food systems not only provided sustenance, but also contributed positively to the environment. By creating strong connections between food production and energy usage, we were able to boost productivity while minimizing our carbon footprint. We prioritized local food systems, ensuring that communities could access fresh produce while reducing transportation emissions significantly. The integration of technology into agriculture allowed for smarter farming practices that maximized efficiency and sustainability. This forward-thinking approach not only helped us tackle food security, but also aligned with our broader goals of combating climate change. Through education and collaboration, we empowered farmers to adopt these innovations, ensuring that sustainability became a shared responsibility. Together, we cultivated a culture of sustainability that spanned urban and rural areas, uniting everyone in the fight against climate change. Through collective action, we transformed our approach to agriculture, making it a cornerstone of our climate strategy. As we continued to innovate, the results were clear. Not only were we addressing climate change, but we were also enhancing our food systems for future generations. By prioritizing soil health and biodiversity, we created resilient ecosystems that could adapt to changing climates and support agricultural productivity. The collaboration between farmers, scientists, and policymakers became essential in shaping a sustainable agricultural future that benefits everyone. With growing public support for local produce, communities rallied around sustainability, turning their choices into climate action. Education became a powerful tool, teaching the next generation the importance of sustainability and their role in protecting the planet. As awareness grew, communities organized events that brought people together to celebrate sustainability and encourage ongoing dialogue about climate solutions. These grassroots movements not only educated the public but also empowered them to take direct action in their local communities.